Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show. Hello everyone. Why do I always look stoned in the morning? I see so many comments like, is this guy stoned? Maybe I am. Anything to make it more fun for you guys. Guys, I've got some news today. E3 news, right? Because we all knew it was coming back next year, right? We have some other news reviews and discussions, a trailer or two, the quiz game at the end, and some other stuff. Why not? It's going to be quite a big show. Okay, we knew that E3 was not coming back, right? We got some news today about that. And then the ESA came back and said, hang on a second, we haven't made our decision. But it seems like people already think that they did. Sounds strange, right? All this and more after the drop. All right. E3, man. Everyone loves E3. I loved E3. Now, I used to, when I was a young lad, I went in 2017, 2018, 2019. 2020, of course, COVID hit, so we couldn't do it. But it was some of the best times I can remember. Truly. Being in those rooms with the other stinky gamers, not being able to move, especially those days where they let everybody in, it was absolute mayhem. You really couldn't even walk around. But it was some of the most exciting times. You get to meet amazing people. You get to meet people that love the show. You get to meet other YouTubers. You get to meet devs, and you're there to see the actual show in person. Like, it's really cool. And it is a shame that it's kind of gone for good. Of course, a few months ago, we did see that E3 and the ESA did confirm that they weren't coming back for 2023. Not a huge surprise, right? They were trying to, muster support, and they thought a lot of people were coming, and then slowly but surely, big companies started saying, we're backing out. And when that domino effect happened, everyone backed out, right? But the future of E3 was still like, is there a possibility that E3 2024 and E3 2025 is going to be here? Well, it seems like some people have said, no, it's not happening. And then ESA came out and said, maybe it is. E3 2024 and 2025 cancelled. Update. Okay, update. All right, we'll get to the update in a second. E3 will reportedly not return for 2024 or 2025. E3 has always been one of the most beloved events in the entire industry, blah, 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 blah. But it was reported from the Los Angeles Tourism Board Commissions held a meeting with various numbers, updates, and forecasts for the tourism in the city of Los Angeles. And in that, they said that E3 2024 and 2025 were not happening, that they had been cancelled. Since then, the ESA, the organization that runs E3, has stated it is still deciding on what its plans for E3 2024 and beyond looks like. No final decision has been made, despite the claims from the Los Angeles City Tourism Board of Commissioners. I'd be very surprised to see this come back. I'm just going to be honest here, okay? If it was to come back, it would have such a hard time to sell to the audience. Not only the audience, just to sell to big companies, big gaming companies, that it's worth coming back to this space, worth paying the money, and it's going to pay off for them. Summer Games Fest now is pretty big. I mean, it only took 3 years for it to kind of take the mantle of E3. It kind of feels like it's the thing now. And E3 now does have a big problem on its hands. And that is, of course, to justify why it even exists now, Summer Games Fest doesn't have that problem, because Summer Games Fest is like, we exist because there's no E3. Now, E3 can't be like, well, we exist because we're the original E3. That's kind of not good enough. It needs to be more than that. It needs to be like, well, this is the reason we're going to exist in 2024 and 2025. It's because we have X, Y, and Z. It's going to be new, improved, better, all these amazing reasons to come back. And I just highly doubt that we're ever going to see those reasons. This doesn't make sense. So I just think it's sad. It's just sad, very sad. But we are going to a more digital space. I mean, it doesn't make sense for so much money to be kind of thrown at these major events for people to walk through and experience, when in reality, if you look at the total pie of gaming, it doesn't really make up a big portion to have physical people go through E3 and experience it in terms of the consumer. And that was the way that E3 was trying to make money towards the end of its kind of era. So it doesn't really make sense to have a huge convention hall to show things when, a lot of kind of media and all that kind of stuff, they can cover the same content by just, tuning into a Nintendo Direct or the Sony event, the Xbox event. Like, they can just kind of stream it and tune in. And the Summer Games Fest still has that kind of pizzazz, I guess, of like having an event that people sit and kind of, they're in the audience and all that kind of stuff. And then the Game Awards, of course, that still has that kind of premium product, that feels like everyone's coming together to celebrate games. So I just don't see that E3 is really essential. Really essential. Haley says, no one's interested in E3 anymore. I agree, sadly. And lastly, if it did come back, it had a branding problem. The ESA, people don't love the ESA. I feel like the ESA definitely has a murky past in terms of backing corporations more than the consumer in terms of monetization. And then the way that greedy monetization and loot boxes and gambling mechanics were put into games, ESA was backing that, So it really doesn't even have someone behind E3 that the average gamer can get behind. That's also the issue. That's also the issue here, folks. Now, another thing I want to talk about. Okay, so I've been playing a lot of Diablo, right? I'm in World Tier 4. I'm definitely seeing some problems with endgame in terms of just hooking the player, like making it interesting and kind of constantly renewing why you want to continuously do a dungeon over and over again, or Grim Whispers, or PvP, or whatever, right? World bosses or world events, right? There's definitely, for me, an issue of consistently feeling like there's more things to do that are going to keep me stimulated. I need to be stimulated, folks. Okay. And Diablo, I think, is going down the route. Well, they have confirmed they're going down the route of what they've done with previous games with seasonal content, and it will be a new character every season. Now, I'm not a fan of that, and a lot of people also aren't fans of that. Diablo newcomers are horrified. They must start a new character to play Season 1 content. Some Diablo 4 players are now coming to terms with confirmation that they must start a new character to play Season 1 content. Look, to give you the gist of it, folks, ultimately, when you play the game, you're going to be able to finish the campaign, right? Whatever, you can have fun with it. Then, what you're going to do is the first season's going to start, and then you get to start a new character, right? Because this new character is the only way that you can fully experience the game pass and the new content and all that kind of stuff. Once you fully experience that content with that new character on the first season pass, first season, it gets moved to the ethereal realm or something, or the eternal realm. And then you can continue playing that in a separate realm where you can exist with other people that are outside the current season. And then it begins all again. You've got to just get a new character and start it again. I don't know about you guys, but when I start a character, like in World of Warcraft, for instance, like when I start a character, like I don't want to feel like I'm putting so much time and effort into like the gear grind, only to realize that after that season, that character is now not as important to me for the next season. It doesn't have as much utility. It's like, it kind of just exists in this other area now. And I have to, in order for me to fully experience the new content, I need to, jump in with a brand new character and start from level 1 again? Now, the saving grace of this, of course, is you don't have to do the campaign. So the campaign can be skipped. Once you finish the campaign, any new character after that, you can just skip it, right? But I'm kind of like not vibing that. And I think a lot of people also are not vibing that, right? Especially now because Diablo 4 has moved to like a full live service, right? Before, Diablo would have seasons, but it would also have big DLC drops like 1 or 2 years after. And that was definitely with Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. And, to have that kind of huge content drop felt like a real moment for Diablo. We hear they're promising content every 3 months, campaign story-driven content every 3 months. Well, story-driven content, not necessarily campaign, but story-driven content every 3 months. We can expect a lot of content from this, right? It's a live service model. That is going to be what's hooking us in. I don't know if, the model from Diablo 2 and Diablo 3 necessarily translates to this new live service thing that they're doing where content, where content is constantly being kind of pushed into this. And with that new content, you want to be experiencing it, right? With like the character that you've been building up. So I'm not a huge fan of this. And, I think a lot of people aren't a huge fan of this. I don't see them changing this. It sounds like they've definitely doubled down on this. One of the leading devs has confirmed that, yes, this is the way that this is going to go forward. So Rod Ferguson, hey Paul, yes, to take part in the seasonal questline, mechanics, season journey, and battle pass, you will need to create a new seasonal character. Playing campaigns with seasonal character, if you so desire or need to finish, will also progress the season journey and battle pass. So, look, it's a shame. It is a shame because here's the thing. I will try it. I will give it a go. Like when I played Diablo 2, I finished Diablo 2 again last year, right? On PlayStation 4. And when Diablo 3 came out, I played a lot of that, right? I never really dabbled in this new character thing, though. I was just like playing my character, enjoyed it. And then once I got to the certain level of finishing the campaign over and over again, I just like put it down after... Would have been, I'm guessing around 100 hours or more. I don't know, right? I think it's more than 100 hours that I played. And I enjoyed that, but I never dabbled in this whole like new character creation season stuff, right? So I'm going to give it a go. But I think I'm going to land in the camp of everyone else. Like, you know what? Before I did this last night, I actually started a new character. I'm a necromancer, but I thought, you know what? I'll try barbarian. I only played it for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, ugh. Fuck, I got no abilities. I'm level 4. Like you can go from level 4 to level 1 to level 4 in like 5 minutes, Not even. It's so quick. But I'm just like, ugh, I'll be fucked to do this. So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna fall in that camp. Natsu didn't know they were planning anymore. We're talking about E3 or talking about Diablo? Well, Diablo is definitely planning to do their seasonal character thing. And E3, I'm surprised they were planning also, to be honest. I don't know how it's going to work. Tammy, remember when E3 used to be cool? I don't. I remember when it was cool. I thought it was cool in 2017. I thought it was cool in 2018. The writing was on the wall in 2020, but 2019 definitely felt like they were just like trying to change things and mix it up, trying to stay relevant and all that kind of nonsense. So, look, E3 is fun, but I don't know if it's going to hang around. My money is that it's not. In other news, Ghost of Tsushima movie updates. In heavy development, focuses on Jin Sakai's story, the most anti-samurai movie yet, due to the themes in it. Okay, they already have great material from the video game. I'm really excited to see what this is. As I said before, a million times, we are going to see so many more, adaptations from video games into TV and into movies. This. I'm guessing this is going to be really good. I mean, the game was fantastic. The story in it, the visuals, the way it was shot as a video game, I think it was incredible. I'd just love to see what they do with this. Absolutely. Sabi says, you don't have to play every season. The new story content is going to be added to the base game after the season. Just come back in a year and play all of it on your original character. Well... having to wait a year to play all the stuff, or like having to wait a certain period of time to play it on that original character. I think that's the problem, like people should be able to, experience it with the character that they've been building and kind of the character that they love to play. That's the thing. Like, what, do I start a new necromancer just because like I want to continue playing him? Like, I've already got one. Like, come on, he's like, Also, guys, we've got about 30 members now on our clan. It is the clan on Diablo. Diablo. I'm a bit sick today, guys. God, sick of you. PTY LTD. PTY space LTD. Okay, check it out. Love to see you guys there. Evil Von says, I haven't played since Diablo 2. Well, you didn't miss much on Diablo 3. Okay, let me tell you. Now, Diablo 3 was okay, but it was much better Diablo 4. Diablo 4 felt the closest to Diablo 2 than we've been in a long time. In a long, long time. Deanne says, oh my, your attention span, just do it. Nah, I can't be bothered. Probably got ADHD or something. Can't be bothered. Oh, what's over there? In other news, Hideo Kojima wants to leave Earth to create a game you can play in space. Do you guys remember the Hideo Kojima, like the Kojima Productions intro? It's set on like Mars or something, right? And this huge like whale comes out and splashes down. It's already set in space. Like maybe, you know, maybe we can expect some stuff from Hideo Kojima in terms of stuff in space. Or maybe Death Stranding is going to like go into space. That makes sense. I mean, that would be pretty damn cool. I'd be open to that. In other news, what the hell's going on here? So this is a break in the Matrix. This is a bird, right? Not moving. Do you see that? Am I the only one that's like, that's not wind. You know how birds can like hover on the wind, but they move around. They're like, oh yeah, I've got this. It's all good. Man, they're not moving around. Okay, this is very important content to put into the show because we need to figure out what's going on there because I can't see. What? Slowly but surely, we're realizing that we're breaking out the Matrix, folks. Okay, and we're seeing more and more. Very strange. Now news. Henry Cavill bids a final farewell to Netflix The Witcher. It has been such a pleasure and honor to be working with you guys. You bring so much nuance and detail to these characters, which are often at risk of being oversimplified. Now we have Liam Hemsworth. Look. Okay. He could be good. He could. But he's no Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill is just such a Giga Chad. And he's so perfect for the role. When we first saw him, we thought, oh my god, this looks a bit... But when we saw him play it, it just felt like, oh my god, yes, this is what we want. Doesn't matter how good Liam Hemsworth is going to be, everyone's going to be comparing it to Cavill's performance and feeling like they've got separation anxiety. Because they're going to be like, Liam's maybe doing a good job here, but it's not really what I want. Like, you know, Cavill, can you come back? I think that's going to be a problem going forward. And if Witcher isn't overly successful with Hemsworth, I'd be very surprised if they renew that season. Be very surprised. Or maybe they give it one more season, give it a go, and then after 2 seasons, if people aren't vibing it, then they'll probably wrap it up. And Henry will be like, hey, couldn't do it without me. Oh dear. The Flash, I just saw this. The Flash is going to lose 300 million. I don't know how confirmed this is. But man, the Flash got absolutely ripped to shreds. I mean, I can't think of a movie that has been ripped to shreds recently like The Flash. But it just seems like everyone thought it was absolute nonsense. People weren't happy with the CGI or the stories. Or they said that even the cameos couldn't save this thing. So I haven't seen it yet. But I probably will watch it just for the meme. But if there was ever a moment in time where we go, you know what? We are over DC and Marvel movies getting thrown at us so much. Because, you know, with so much quantity, quality must suffer. It's just like a law. It's a law. Don't ask me where the law comes from, but it's just like, if you put heaps of shit out, the quality must suffer. Simple as that. If you just chill on this, as I said previously, if you just chill, give us 2 years, go back to the drawing board, like trying to figure it out. Don't just bombard us with shit all the time. People will be a lot more receptive to new stuff, you know? I'm just, you know, look, there's that Blue Beetle one or something. Blue Beetle, is that coming out soon? I know Black Adam wasn't great. The Flash wasn't great, clearly. She-Hulk, that was great. Everyone loved that. I haven't even watched that. I've just watched the twerking scenes and... No, that sounds a bit creepy. What I mean is it did the runs on the Twitter, okay? You know what I'm trying to say, folks. I saw it on Twitter. I may have had to watch it 3 or 4 times. But, look, I saw all the cringy moments in the She-Hulk. So, yeah, it's just time for... I think it's time for Marvel and DC just to chill. Just give us a little bit of time. In other news, Banana IP case sees Apple seeking rights over actual apples. What is wrong with you, Apple? Okay, so a Swiss company that is 111 years old has a red apple with like the Swiss cross in it. And Apple is having issues with it. How dare you use, you know, a naturally occurring fruit in your logo? That's ours. Okay? Now, I think that Apple was made like 50 years ago. That's pretty 50 years is like pretty close to when the Apple was like made, right? When the Apple evolved, like pretty sure. I feel like Apple owns it at this point. Like it's fine, you know, whatever. Apple knew Eve. Yeah. I think Tim Cook was like mates with Adam. Yeah, so it should be fine. Like they pretty much own it. Apple, you're a bunch of losers. I don't eat enough apples. Does anyone else just like apple a day keeps the doctor away? Just put apples on a train and then put a doctor. You've seen this meme, right? Just put a doctor on the train line, heaps of doctors on a train line, and then put apples under the train, and then it'll keep it away. You just keep fucking going. That's what they need to do. It's so simple. It is so simple. You know, we can just like, there's no friction trains. Then you get on the train, doctor's under like, howdy doody, how are you? Thank you. Yep. And then you just, it can't touch because it keeps the doctor away. Why aren't we using this technology, man? Crazy. Well, you heard it here first. And speaking of that, have you guys... okay, I saw this the other day. I wanted to throw this in. This is ridiculous. But you know what? This is what we're here for. Oh man. I mean, that's a great ad. I'm sorry, but that is a great ad. I don't know if they got demonetized, but fuck it, whatever. That is great. That's how you do ads. Okay? That is good. That's good fun. In other news, SpiderMan 2 demo isn't planned, says Insomniac Games. Shame. I don't think we saw a demo of the first Spider-Man, right? So that makes sense. A lot of hype around this, but as we saw, sorry, from the 10 minutes gameplay, it's looking like it's pretty much going to be the same stuff. But I'm okay with that, right? I'm actually okay with that. Like, it was a good game, the first one. Miles Morales was great. It felt like just a hefty DLC. So, this one being just a little bit bigger and a few more mechanics in it and stuff like that. Cool, I'm open to seeing that. But, like, ultimately, I don't really mind if we're not going to see, you know, massive change in this. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know? Now the news, Microsoft market cap hits 2.6 trillion. Sony's is 121.1 billion. I throw this in just to show the scale of how big Sony is competing with Xbox with this whole like Activision deal. Sony's throwing everything they can at it. Microsoft's throwing everything they can at it. They got obviously more cash. But the funny thing is here, right? Like, with all the money, with all the influence, with all the reach Microsoft has, with all the ability to, you know, dominate multiple markets, they just seem to continuously, they can't dominate the console market. They just can't. Money can't do it. Money cannot do it. Talent is the only thing that can do it. Sure, money can get you in. Money can get enough marketing around it and make sure it's going to have a good shot. But as we've seen from those 3 or 4 generations, four generations of Xbox, apart from 360, doesn't matter how much money you have, the content and the quality and the talent just seemingly isn't good enough. And also, Xbox says that the VR market is currently too small for it to chase. Now, that kind of makes sense, right? So, Matt Buddy suggested that Xbox games need to reach around 10 million players to be successful. Look, it's going to be a while before VR is like a thing. Like, until we can say that consoles, like, there's going to be a day when consoles and maybe VR or augmented reality is going to be like pretty close, like potentially. But that's like 10, 15 years off, man. I remember when Xbox was looking into their like augmented reality, their AR stuff. But they obviously just like bowed out because they're like, you know what, screw it. Like, what's the point? Like, it's not really working, not really vibing. And PlayStation has had a pretty rocky kind of journey with the PlayStation VR 2 and 1. I think it sold like 600,000 units or something, which is still sizable, the PSVR 2. But I mean, it pales compared to how many consoles are sold, right? It's still relatively niche. It's not something that's really like paving the way for the future of any of these companies. They're like, it's like a side note. It's like a side project, you know? And I know I've said this a few times before, but when I played Half-Life Alyx, I saw that the future of gaming definitely is in part going to be connected to VR. Like, nothing prepared me for some of those experiences, especially towards the end of Half-Life Alyx, when you're like, there's like gravity's given out and the guys are floating around and you're getting all your powers and shit. Man, that was incredible. Like, that was freaking incredible, you know? So, yeah. Before they work on VR, why don't we just get to like a solid 60 FPS? Speaking of that, the amount of 120 games on next gen, there's 30 on PS5, there's 60 on Xbox Series S, and there's 90 on Xbox Series X. Now, no one really cares about 120 FPS. I'm just going to tell you now. No one gives a shit. Like, some people do, but like, no one really gives a fuck. What people care about is 60. And if you can't get there, then 30. And if you can't get there, Tears of the Kingdom, give me a solid 12. But of course, as I've said before, case by case, Starfield's going to be 30. Each game is different. But we want to strive for 60. Like, we want to strive for that, right? As I said last time, it shouldn't be mandatory. It should be aimed for, you know? That's what we want, you know? But this whole like 120 FPS thing, it's not really seeming to be a huge thing. And I wonder if, I mean, what, are we going to go to 240 FPS for next gen? Like, no, oh my God, I won't be able to see that shit. Show me 60 FPS and 120 FPS, and I'm still going, what? I'm not sure which one's the difference. You know, like, it's, okay, fine, you can see a little bit of a difference. But like, it's not like game changing for me. If one console came out and said we can do 60 FPS, we have great games. The other one was like, we can do 120 FPS, and we got more games. We know which one we're picking, right? And more of a somber story, guys. So the submersible has gone missing on the dive. Yes, here's what we know so far. Now, we kind of have a few more updates now. I want to throw this in because, of course, the whole PlayStation, the Logitech controller. But when I woke up today, I did see the sad news that the Coast Guard has confirmed in some way that there was some sort of catastrophic loss of pressure. It seems like they've recovered the some sort of wreckage near the Titanic, potentially. Which is like, can you imagine being, oh my God, I mean, I would get so claustrophobic. I'm 6'5" or 6'4". I don't know if you guys know that, but I'm a pretty tall dude. Big hands. Doesn't translate, sadly. But like, you know, this would be so claustrophobic. And like that moment with the pressure, oh my God, it'd be horrendous. So it's really sad to hear that news. And why the hell were they using a goddamn controller? I'm just, you know, like, what were they thinking? This thing wasn't even certified. I've been doing a little bit of research, as you guys probably have too. I think there's like, I think they said 10 there's 10 or 20. Like, there's not too many submersibles that are certified, and the only one that's not the only one that's not certified was this one from Titan Gate or whatever it's called. Isn't that funny how it's called Titan Gate? You know, like Watergate, Spidergate. Remember the whole like Puddlegate? You know, now it's Titan Gate. Not a great choice. And to call it Titanic. You're playing with fate here, folks. You're playing with fate here. Django says implosion, fucked way to go, but don't think they would have had. I would even realize it was happening. Yeah, I don't know how quick that happens, right? I don't know how quick that like you just lose consciousness. Like I don't know what that would be like. You know, and the CEO was on there too and shit, and that billionaire with his son, the 19-year-old son, among other people, of course. But like, God. This photo though, of this guy like slapping his hand when he realizes it's a Logitech controller. I can't see them ever doing a Voyage again. And I'd be very surprised if we don't see massive regulatory change now in kind of submersible tourism, underwater experiences. I'm surprised that, you know, it's not as regulated as like aviation. Because if this is not certified and these people can sign a waiver and they can still go to the bottom of the ocean and look at the Titanic, it's I assume then that the regulations around this don't really prohibit people from going down. But after this, I mean, I'd be very surprised if that's going to be the case moving forward. Marky Mint, not sure there is much to feel. Hope we're not making a joke there. I think you mean like there's just like hopefully it was quick for them. That's what I'm trying to hopefully it was quick, you know. Yeah, but I've seen those videos of gas containers like losing pressure and it just like quickly goes in. That looks like it happens in a second, right? So I mean if that is the way you got to go, you want to go quick. You want to go quick. Speaking of that, Logitech controller sales now are on sale. I wonder why. Maybe they feel like they're not going to be selling very well going forward, or they feel like this is really cheap, like a really cheap moment to make some money. Either way, it's not a great look, Logitech. It's not a great look on Amazon. Or Amazon, it's not a great look. Logitech, it's not a great look. I don't feel like you can start saying, hey, these controllers, you've seen them. You know, I'm Troy McClure. You may have seen me in other... You know, like, we don't want to know that... We don't want to connect that right now. We don't want to be knowing that it's on sale. Like, just chill on the sale portion. What do you reckon? You know? He also fired an employee that reported about how unsafe the sub was. I thought that they left, and then they were like, yeah, by the way, this is super fucking unsafe. Yeah. Indeed, and more powerful than a locomotive. Oh, you mean the actual, like, pressure? The pressure change? Yeah, shit. King Cuz says, some of the reviews for those controls are brutal funny. I don't know if we'll read them today. But they're on sale, and yeah. Now, let's watch this video, actually, of them inside it. Like, showing it before it went, before they set sail. Someone actually went and kind of, like, talked about it.
This sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on! It's pieces.
That's just terrible. I mean, come on. I'm surprised. I mean, how the fuck did they set sail in the first place with this thing? This is just this reeks of just like catastrophe. And yep, not good. Anyway, it's on sale. If you want to be morbid, then it's on sale. If you're looking for a cheap controller, now's the time, I guess. Now's the time. All right, in other news, PlayStation chief Jim Ryan says that if deal closes, Sony couldn't tell Activision about its next console. That's interesting, okay, because you need a few years, right? Well, not a few years, but you need a decent amount of time if you're going to try and get a game ready. Well, yeah, you need a few years. You need a few years to get a game ready for a console, right? You need to understand the architecture. You need to understand the power of it. That means Activision games are ultimately just not going to be able to be, at least for the first year or two, not going to be able to be, part of PlayStation 6, which very well may be the moment, if this goes through with Xbox, maybe the moment where Xbox is like, perfect, fuck it then. We'll just do our thing with Activision. Thanks a lot. We don't want any of our games on your platform then, It very well may be all this redacted stuff. What's going on with all this redacted shit, right? You can't even see anything. Well, you can see enough, but it just makes sense that Xbox would then use that to be like, well, all right, well, we're not going to put our stuff on your console then. See you later. Speaking of that, New Zealand regulators have published a statement of issues of Microsoft proposed Activision Blizzard acquisition. The New Zealand Commerce Commission has cloud gaming concerns and it has extended its final decision date to 17th of July. And this happened a couple of days ago, but it's not looking great for New Zealand. This feels like it's getting super messy, super freaking messy, man. Now, recently, in a court date, Jim Ryan was over Zoom in some sort of... he was getting interviewed by the court or whatever you call it, deposition or something. I don't know. And multiple high Xbox execs also went in person to testify. And it just seems like this is just going on and on and on. And it seems like this is having, I think, an effect, this whole case, on other areas, other regions, because they have to maybe look at this and go, okay, well, the FTC has an issue with it. The EU has an issue, or the UK has an issue with it. Maybe we should just kind of have a bit more of a think about this. I think, we're all human, right? If we're part of a board trying to make some regulatory decisions and we see that the US and the UK have issues with this, we're all going to take a step back and go, okay, let's have a think about this then. Are we cool with this? That's going to have an effect. So I wonder how much of that is actually having an effect on other regions making those decisions. I wonder. Marky Mint says £1,331 per square inch. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Per square inch? Man, that is just crazy. Infinity says the vessel was not certified to operate within US waterways. They got around any certification requirements because the Titanic is in international waters. Okay. Yep, understand. Yep. Yeah, but there's also laws in international waters, right, that are governed by someone, Mr. Worldwide. I don't know. Yeah, but hopefully they'll have to change those rules now. Be very sad to see that all this happens and there's no change. Nothing happens to the regulatory or the laws surrounding taking passengers that are just consumers, right? They're not researchers, or they're not professional. They're not professional divers, or they're not professional scientists. They're just billionaires or people that have got a lot of money. I don't know if that warrants them enough to be like, hey, let's go down to the bottom of the ocean. There's too many risks, It's the same with going into space. I know that there's some programs that you can dip into space for a second or something. What happened to Jeff Bezos's space thing, actually? I feel like that's kind of not as much of a thing now. I remember when he was part of the mission, you went up and they dipped outside of space for a second or something and they came back and they were very triumphant. But you don't really hear about that anymore. What's it called also? What's it called? I can't actually remember what it's called. Anyway, this is a nice little video.
Hello, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto from Nintendo. The Super Mario Bros. Movie is the first film with which Nintendo was directly involved in production. We feel very fortunate that so many people around the world have watched this movie. Thank you all so much. We hope you'll continue cheering for Mario's team. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chris Meledandri from Illumination. The response to the Super Mario Bros. Movie has been beyond my wildest imagination. And in my entire career, I've never witnessed such passionate, engaged, and excited fans. As a result of fans championing the film, many more people around the globe have now discovered the magic of Mario. I want to thank you all for supporting this film with such great enthusiasm.
That's nice. I thought that was quite nice. I mean, look, it's a huge triumph. It's absolutely a triumph. Marky Mint, exploration is a dangerous game. Available September 16th. September 6th. Oh, man. That's a good question. How soon is too soon? I feel like today's too soon. A year from now, people have dark humor on the internet. A week from now, people have dark humor on the internet. Right now, people have dark humor on the internet. I don't mind some dark humor. Yeah. Oh, man. Blue Origin. Adam, that's what it's called. Blue Origin. Yes. Blue Origin. Oh, man. International Maritime Law. There we go, Wayne. Thank you very much. There we go. Well, the international maritime law needs to change. Clearly. You know. Hey, Sam, have you played FF16 yet? No, I haven't. I have seen that it's getting some pretty good reviews, but there was other people that were coming out, like Polygon. I think, well, we all love Polygon. It came out and said that they thought that the story sucked or something. Some mixed reviews on Metacritic, which I'm going to come to later. A lot of it's really positive. It did get 88 on Metacritic, but I do want to actually jump in and play that. But it's now a little bit less on my list because I'm just so freaking obsessed with Diablo, to be honest. Sure. Oh, and someone asked before if I'm going to be seeing Indiana Jones. Yes, I will. Oh, I appreciate the super chat. Sorry, I missed that. Member, thank you very much. Appreciate for being a member for the 2 months in a row. Appreciate that. How is that possible? It was supposed to be so good that we'd forget Ezra Miller's crimes. What are we talking about? I can't. Oh, okay. Yes, the Flash. Okay. Well, apparently it was terrible. And look, I'm surprised. I'll be very surprised if they make any more Flash films. I think we're done, and we're also done with Henry Cavill being Superman. This is a lot of Henry Cavill things being finished. You know, it is done. I'm going to be seeing Indiana Jones when it comes out. Yes, I will be. Comes out soon, actually. Maybe is it this Thursday? Wait, is it today? Or is it next week? I don't know. Actually, I got to check that shit out. In other news, Halo Infinite is scrapping its story-driven seasonal cutscenes after layoffs at 343. So I think this is ultimately because Halo Infinite isn't that popular. Well, it's nowhere near as popular as any major FPS, right? It's definitely been struggling big time in terms of when it landed. People felt like it didn't feel like Halo was back. And I just think the overall conversation with Halo is pretty minimal in the gaming space in general. I'm not surprised to see layoffs here. Now, we never want to see layoffs, but when there's a roadmap or if there's, a lot of content planned for a game that doesn't seem to be kind of getting into the core conversation of especially competitive shooters, you can expect something to give. Because it doesn't make sense then for them to continue to do the same level of content or the same level of workforce if it doesn't seem like it's warranted based on the overall attitude of the audience and the overall kind of interest and engagement of that audience. So, this is tight but done right. What are you talking about? It's good to have a game you can just go through open world, have been overload, and I didn't need another bloated JRPG Persona-esque. Okay, this is tight but done right. I heard it's really long, actually. I've seen some, I've heard it's like 50 hours or 60 hours just to finish the actual, just to finish it. But that's like Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy does take a while. It's never a small game, In other news, EA announces that EA Games will be renamed to EA Entertainment in a move that splits EA Sports into two separate organizations encompassing many of each EA's major titles. that's interesting. Now, whenever we're talking about how evil EA is, we have to make it like, whoa, we're talking about EA Sports. Oh, no. We're talking about EA Entertainment. Okay. No, it's very different. They're very different. Bro, they're so different. What are you talking about? EA's evil. EA Sports is evil, but EA Entertainment, not evil at all. It's fine. No, they're great. They're great. But, I don't know. I mean, look, they just obviously wanted a little bit of a rename. The thing is now, us as consumers, we won't remember any of their previous stuff. Like, oh, it's EA Entertainment. Like, it's a new thing. Like, they're not EA games. Like, it's a different thing. Like, it's fine, you know? So, whatever they do moving forward, like, you know, it's a new company, ultimately. And EA Sports, all good. They've always been good. Especially their FIFA stuff, you know? Like, they never were, like, discussing monetization practices or, like, preying on people that had gambling addictions or targeting children. So EA Entertainment, like, it's a new thing. Like, you know, new company, guys. Just be aware of that. In other news, EA delays this big new magical first-person shooter, a first-person spell shooter, which is a kind of a shame because it actually looks pretty cool. I thought we'd watch the trailer again together because I think it looks pretty nice, actually. For an EA title, I'm actually relatively excited to see what this ends up being like. Let's watch it together.
This is AVM. Since we first learned to use magic, we've waged war over who would control it. Now, only Lucium remains to resist the tyrant of Rasharn. Sandrak will eventually be able to block our access to magic. Then the Everwar is over.
Ooh, the Everwar.
As in he takes over Lucium?
As in he takes over everything.
Oh my god, he takes over everything. Why are they fighting with swords if they got magic? Just throwing it out there.
There's a name for what you are.
A Magnus. I want to be an immortal. I want to fight this war as one of you. One of the elite.
I believe in you. She definitely thinks you're going to die. That's why her face looks like that.
Get position!
That's looking really messy there, like FPS or something.
You walk towards your doom.
Doom and I are old friends.
You seen those frame drops in the trailer?
Your sigil will help you focus your magic. Prevent it from killing you.
It looks really cool though. Like the idea of it looks really cool. I'm actually excited to see what this is.
I found a child whose new powers could make them a threat to the kingdom I protect. The choice was to either kill you or turn you into a weapon against Rasharn.
Option A was to kill me?
Humor. Yeah, funny. Yeah. Look, it does look cool though. Like, you know, I think that was one of their stronger things that we did see. Was it in the Xbox showcase? Can't remember now. But we did see that, and it did look kind of cool. In other news, Secret Invasion opening credits had an was AI made. So I'm going to show you this now. This is going to probably get demonetized, but fuck it. Man, people are pissed about this. People are pissed about this because, you know, it feels like we're already having an issue with quality overall with DC and Marvel. And then they throw in a AI-generated intro, and let's watch this together. Oh, wait, it's too big. Heard that before. So, like, you can see here, right? Like, it looks so AI, but it is AI. Like, that was all made by an AI. So, like, you have all these people that work on the projects, right? I mean, I know it's kind of cool and quirky to, like, try and use AI, but to try and make an entire intro with it, I think it's making a really big statement in a time where people are really nervous about AI, especially animators and creative people in general. Doesn't matter what corner of the creative space you're in, from movies, music, art, art in like still art, animation. It's just kind of changing. There's going to be a time in the future where we're just not going to be able to see the difference between an AI-generated piece of art from any medium and a normal and someone from a human making it, you know? So, yes, it does look a little bit sloppy. That's one thing. It does look a little bit sloppy. And I know that they probably want to do this whole creative thing. But really bad timing because, again, a lot of people are very nervous about this. And it just probably wasn't the greatest thing to be doing. Maybe a snippet of AI would have been kind of cool. But the entire thing being made by AI, not a good move. And that's pretty much all of it. In other news, stop. Okay, there's a petition to make Elder Scrolls 6 release on PlayStation. Let's see how many signatures it's got now. Let's have a look. Got 1,635 signatures. Not much. Okay, 600 more. Yeah, that's not going to happen, guys. That's not happening. That'd be kind of cool to see, of course, but I don't anticipate it's going to happen. Now, the last thing I want to do before we finish up with the quiz game, I'm going to be doing the quiz game today. If you haven't played it before, 10 questions. Got to figure out what the music is in 10 seconds. Write your answer down. If you get 6 or more, you're a hardcore gamer. If you get less, you're a loser. I got less than 6 a few times, so it's okay. Metacritic score. So, look, I mean, PlayStation Final Fantasy 16 is pretty well reviewed. And then there's, of course, some other ones that are a little bit lower. A little bit, oh god, there's just heaps of 90s and 90s and 90s and 80s, and then booyah, some 70s and 60s, right? Some 70s and 60s. So I am going to play this. I don't know when, but I will find time to play this, of course. Now, it's not on my Switch, which sucks, because I'm going to Europe soon. When I go to Europe, I'm looking for a game to play. Guys, let me know what game I should play when I'm in Europe. Okay, because I would love to know. Another interesting, very important news. You can actually pet the dog. It's really important that I show you this. And the chocobo. Very important. The composer is seen here petting Torgal and a chocobo during a developer stream. That's very nice. What else before we finish up? What's this one? Oh, okay. You know what? Okay, let's throw this in. And then we start the AI game.
You have made a mockery of me.
That is the best moment when Daigo, whatever his name is, beats Chun-Li. It is absolutely incredible. Let's just mute that and look at that. Like, when I remember watching this like 10 years ago or whatever, and I'm like, holy shit, man, this is insane. Because you know the parry system, right, in Street Fighter 3, like, it's not overly easy. When you play more of it, you start to understand a little bit where to put things. But it can take its time to really understand. Last thing before the quiz. Todd Howard says only 10% of Starfield's 1,000 planets will have life on them. The cracks are starting to show. Imagine seeing, 900 planets and there's just nothing on there. That's what it sounds like. 900 planets and there's nothing to kill. Nothing to interact with. Nothing to look at apart from rocks. And living is inclusive of trees, right? Or like fauna and flora. So that's kind of disappointing. 10%? Yeah, not a fan of that, guys. Not a fan of that. All right. Okay, who's ready for the quiz game? You guys know the rules of the quiz game. Let me get my pencil. A pencil? Let me get my pen. Okay. Let's go. 10 questions. And if you get more than 6, then you're cool. And if you don't, it's okay. Don't worry about it. All right, here we go. I'm gonna. Yep. Easy, but I don't know which one it is. I think it's Brawl. Smash Brawl. Yeah. Okay, 1. Easy. Okay, here we go. Ah, the first 20 were easy. What the hell is this one? This is a no from me. Fire Emblem. Okay. No idea. All right. Here we go. 1 right, 1 wrong. I got no idea. Ugh. I only played Mass Effect 1 and 2. Damn it. Okay, 2 wrong, 1 right. This is not good. This is not looking good, folks. This is not looking good. I know this song. Oh my god, this feels like an not Tony Hawk. Ah, 3 wrong, 1 right. Jesus. Oh my god. Okay. All right. This is not looking good today, folks. That is another 1 wrong today. Eric, I'm a fake gamer now for sure. That's another wrong one today. God damn it. 4 wrong, 1 right. This is the worst we've done. Okay. I'm up for it. Let's go. That's another one wrong. Oh, man. Oh, come on. That is PlayStation 1 shit. Damn it. Oh, my God. The game is, can I get another 1 right? We're 6 in now. That's another 1 wrong. No! Oh, I don't really play Splatoon, so... Still a hardcore gamer then, clearly it's fine, like whatever. Yeah, this is the hardest one we've done. Oh, I don't play The Sims. The Sims sucks. I'm not a fan. Eric, you should really play the Mass Effect trilogy. I played 1 and 2. I will play 3 actually. And Andromeda? What do you reckon? No? Okay, come on. One more right. Wow. Nah. Okay. 8 wrong, 1 right. I know this song. It's not Pokemon, is it? Pokemon? No. God damn it. Oh. 9 wrong, 1 right. Let's do 1 more. For the love of God. Oh. Wow. 10 wrong, 1 right. Oh my god. Everyone, every other time we've got like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Wow. Okay, one more. Let's do one more just for the meme. Let's get 11 wrong and 1 right. Dark Souls. It's something Dark Souls. It feels like a Dark Souls boss. Fuck it. I'm that's 2. Nah, that was Souls. Okay, you know what I'm trying to say? Okay, that was Souls. It's fine. Nah, I don't know. Oh fuck, whatever. Okay, that is 11 wrong. Okay, I want to count the Bloodborne as. Fuck it. You know what? I'll count it as wrong. So that's 1 right, 12 wrong. 1 right, 12 wrong. That has to be the best we've played. Please let me know what your answers were. Gone are the days that we can expect getting 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10. Those days are gone. 12 wrong, 1 right. Feeling like a hardcore gamer today. But guys, thank you so much for tuning. Oh, wait, a super chat before I go. Orange says, how much would you bet that we're going to get another version of Skyrim before we get the next Elder Scrolls? I would bet $1 million. We're gonna see the next Switch 2, hopefully next year, or Super Switch Pro. Absolutely, Skyrim is coming to that. There's no question about that, right? So I appreciate your super chats. I appreciate the members. Thank you so much for being here, and everyone for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Have a wonderful evening, morning, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys next time. Laymen out.